Animal Kingdom became the hottest park in Disney World when Pandora opened, but quickly lost its crown to Hollywood studios upon the opening of Star Wars: Galaxy's Edge. Has it been reduced to nothing more than the home to the worst-rated ride in all of Walt Disney World? Hey everybody, it's Chris for AllEars TV and AllEars.net. You're going to want to pay attention to this list because today we're talking about the worst rides in Animal Kingdom according to our viewers. This list comes from reviews posted on AllEars.net by viewers like you. The number 4 worst ride in Disney's Animal Kingdom according to you with a rating of 7.45, Cali River Rapids. River Rapid rides, say that fast 3 times, are not hard to come by in amusement parks. Meant to simulate whitewater rafting, this type of ride was first designed for Astro World in Houston, Texas in 1980, and has become one of the most ubiquitous styles of water ride in the world. In fact, we counted 54 installations of this type of ride system in the US alone, though compared to the 118 log flumes that have been installed in the US at one time or another, it's definitely not the most common. This Animal Kingdom version received a backstory from its Imagineers, of course, and is themed to be a rafting expedition along the fictitious Chakranadi River in India, whose water is supplied by the melting snow in the Himalayas.
Cali River Rapids always kind of bumps me out because of the theming. I can get behind a water ride if the theming's really good, like Splash Mountain, but the Cali River Rapids theming is really, once you get on. Like the queue's cool, but as soon as you're on the ride, it's boring.
I'm with Quincy on this one. For how great the queue is, the ride itself is just okay. However, if we are comparing it to Popeyes and Universal, I would ride this any day of the week before I went on Popeyes.
An anonymous reviewer said, boring, no big drops. This is nothing compared to Grizzly River Rapids in Disney's California Adventure. Really long line for super short ride that has no thrills.
It is not a surprise or a secret that I don't love Cali River Rapids. I don't like getting wet on theme park attractions to begin with, and I feel like this ride is too short and not enough fun for how incredibly wet you could come off the ride.
And a lot of your reviews mentioned that getting soaked is part of the fun for you and your family. In fact, Shelly Shell B said, "One of my favorites. My whole family laughs through the entire second half of this ride. It's fun to see who gets the wet seat and then watch everyone get squirted throughout the rest of the turns. The theming on and around this ride is beautiful and intricate." Then she describes how she packs extra clothes and plans what she wears ahead of time in preparation for getting completely soaking wet. So the moral here is that even if you love getting soaked on rides, you'll still want to make like Scar and be prepared. You may even want to wait till the day you're attending the park to decide whether you'll ride it that day based on how hot or chilly it is. Savannah put it simply for us in her review. Fun ride for the family. Kids will love it. Great for a hot day. Warning, you will get soaked. The pros. If you love water rides and think getting soaked is part of the fun of theme parks, this might be your favorite ride in the park. It's a perfect way to cool off on a hot day, especially on a hot Florida day when you may find yourself suddenly turning into one of the families who loves getting wet. This ride accommodates 12 people at once, and you're all facing each other in a circle. The cons? You might get soaked, as certain seats will get more direct hits than others, and there's no way of knowing ahead of time. It's not really worth a long line because it's a relatively short ride and not as intense as similar river rapid rides. There's really nothing unique here. There have been 54 of these installed in the US alone, so it's likely you'll have one close to where you live, and you may choose to use your time waiting in line for something you can experience close to home. Your pick for the 3rd worst ride in Disney's Animal Kingdom with a rating of 6.89 is... Oh no, really? Navi River Journey. This relaxing boat ride provides a glimpse into the magical world of the Navi for those who find its sister attraction, Flight of Passage, too intense. Here, your boat will navigate through caves and bioluminescent rainforests where you will encounter exotic plants and creatures, most notably the Navi Shaman of Songs, who sings the mesmerizing theme song of the attraction while exhibiting a level of fluidity in her body and expressiveness in her face that you won't find matched in an animatronic anywhere else. So why is it your pick for the third worst ride in Animal Kingdom?
Jenny Liz said, I'm 50-50 on this ride. It has beautiful visuals and the animatronic is amazing. However, after waiting in a very long, slow-moving line, I was very underwhelmed. I would do it again if the wait time was low, just not as great as some other rides in the park.
This ride is so pretty and the theming's awesome. It's definitely gonna have longer lines, so if you don't really have time in your Animal Kingdom day, then it's skippable. But if you've never been on it or you have a little extra time to be able to wait in the hour-long line, it's really pretty and very relaxing. And I love a boat ride, so.
For me, this is a one-and-done ride. The Shaman animatronic is absolutely breathtaking and the ride itself is pretty stunning. However, there usually is a pretty long wait and a lot of the queue is outside. So on a hot summer day, this is pretty much a skip for me.
Navi River Journey isn't the best attraction in Animal Kingdom in my opinion, but I don't think it deserves to be on the worst list either. You need to ride it at least once for the Shaman of Song because that animatronic is incredible. Plus, it's a great choice if you've got people who aren't tall enough or don't want to ride Flight of Passage. It's a really fun attraction for them to go on.
Beautiful and relaxing are words that come up in a lot of your reviews. Nobody is saying this ride is horrible for any reason. They're just warning you that once you reach the end of the long line you probably waited in to ride it, you may be disappointed that beautiful and relaxing are all the ride turned out to be. Carly Marie 33 said, this ride is absolutely beautiful, but it's really short, overhyped, and has no thrills. While Disney Wacko Mode elaborated, if I'm being honest, I think Navi River Journey is meant for art lovers. It is aesthetically stunning, but for non-Disney fans, the story for this ride is basically nowhere to be seen or understood. Still, this ride is very pretty and a good addition to Animal Kingdom's lineup. Unless you have small children who can't ride Flight of Passage yet, it is better to skip directly to Flight of Passage.
Some days I don't mind the wait because I'm a big fan of the Avatar movies, and where else am I gonna see a floating wood sprite? Plus, the ride is pretty long and slow, so your feet get a nice rest.
The pros. The Shaman is one of the most advanced animatronics in all of the Disney properties. Let's face it, there's not a lot of calm on a Disney vacation day, so it's nice to have a beautiful, peaceful boat ride for the whole family. No matter whether you love or hate the movie, the Avatar theming is super cool. The cons? People love Pandora, so you have to plan for very long wait times. Some are disappointed after all the Pandora hype. Compared to how long the wait times usually are, many reviews complain the ride is too short. Coming in at number 2 in your list of the worst rides in Animal Kingdom with a rating of 6.81. It's Tough to Be a Bug. Okay, we know what you're thinking. This leans more towards a show than a ride, but there are enough strong feelings about this attraction to warrant it a spot in the top worst of the park. This attraction uses water effects, scent, animatronics, and some pretty intense scenes in near total darkness to create a thrilling entertainment based on Disney Pixar's A Bug's Life that's proven way too much for some adults over the years, let alone children.
You definitely need to know your kids before you go into the theater. Things are gonna poke them. Giant spiders come from the ceiling. The Hopper animatronic is super scary. I have never once been to It's Tough to Be a Bug and not heard a child start screaming. Then again, that could have just been Morgan.
It is dark, it is loud, and there are scary moments, so that is something to look out for younger children. Also, for adults, the dangling spiders still absolutely haunt my nightmares.
Shay said, I 100% suggest you give this ride a chance, even though it is frequently hated on in the Disney community. It is so fun, the animatronics are impressive, but warned, if you get motion sick, be cautious, and a bit scary for children.
This is a great show, honestly. It's got 3D effects, special effects in general, animatronics, and it's in the Tree of Life. I've literally been going to see It's Tough to Be a Bug since I was very, very, very small, and it still hasn't gotten old for me. So it's a winner in my book.
That's a lot of love for these bugs, but not everyone is a fan. An anonymous reviewer told us, cool story, but had a borderline panic attack when the fog hit, added with the loudness and the pitch darkness, all at the same time. The main complaints we hear are that the effects, especially the ones that involve things touching you, yes, really, are way too intense and take away from the fun. While some of you said this attraction never has a line, especially with social distancing protocols in place, we have seen lines get a little longer than what we're used to. You'll always want to check wait times in the My Disney Experience app to decide when and if this attraction is good for you. A reviewer named Jenny Liz said, "This is an oldie but a goodie. It's a fun change of pace from other rides in the park and definitely fun for the kids." You also get to walk through the Tree of Life while in line and find all the animals carved in the tree. There are better rides in the park, but I would still make time for this one.
I don't love bugs, but I love the idea of sitting in a dark, air-conditioned room after walking around Animal Kingdom all day.
The pros. It's startling, jumping, surprising, buggy fun for the whole family. It's a wonderfully themed queue. Keep an eye out for the hand-carved animals that cover the Tree of Life and the posters that parody Broadway shows with bug themes. It's inside the Tree of Life, kind of like Animal Kingdom's version of Spaceship Earth. You get to go inside that thing. The cons. Too intense for some children and adults. Wait times can get long, especially now with social distancing and only one theater. The 3D technology caused motion sickness for some. And finally, your pick for the #1 worst ride in Animal Kingdom, and sadly in all of Walt Disney World, with a rating of 4 out of 10, Triceratops Spin. While it likely comes as no surprise that this ride is your lowest rated in Animal Kingdom, it may surprise some that it was the lowest rated in all of Disney World. But hey, something had to be, right? Manufactured by Zamperla, who also made Dumbo the Flying Elephant and Magic Carpets of Aladdin for Magic Kingdom, and also Kang and Kodo's Twirl and Hurl for Universal Studios Florida, this ride isn't what you would call unique, and that fact is, well, pretty obvious.
Disney fan 12345 said, probably the most boring ride in Disney World, even though it would be a good ride for very little kids. Also, Disney is just ripping off 3 other Dumbo-style rides.
This ride is definitely a skip for me, but then again, so is Dumbo. I will say that I really like the theming of Dino Land, and I think that's really awesome that little kids can ride around in a dinosaur.
While this ride is personally a skip for me, it's also important to note that I'm definitely not the target audience for this. Like Quincy said, it is pretty much Dumbo with dinos, but for kids that are under the height requirement for a lot of Animal Kingdom's other rides, it's a really cute, fun attraction.
Morgan really hit on an important point. Your kids don't know this was manufactured by the same company who made the same ride for different theme parks. They know that A, they're allowed to get on it. 2, they get to ride in a dinosaur. And 3, they get to fly. This literally could be your child's flight of passage. To them, the world is already huge and amazing and in 3D. As TGA 1828 put it, not much different than the Dumbo ride in Magic Kingdom, but of course, every kid wants to go on it, including myself. And a giant plus for those that want to ride it, because this ride has the reputation of being the worst in all the parks, people tend to avoid it. So you can often ride it with a very short wait time.
I get that it's just Dumbo with dinosaurs, but I also don't get all the hate. I mean, sure, if you're looking for a thrill ride, this isn't going to fit the bill, but if you've got people in your family that aren't tall enough or don't want to ride Dinosaur or Expedition Everest, this is a great choice. Sure, maybe it's not the best attraction, but I certainly don't think it's the worst either.
Is this going to entertain every member of every age in your family? No. Will it be exciting and fun for your little ones? Yes, and they deserve to have fun rides too. This ride system is common because kids love it. And as a parent myself, the joy of watching your child realize they have the power to fly this dinosaur up and down as they choose is pretty much worth the price of admission, even to ride the worst ride in all of Disney World. The pros. It's flying baby dinos, which makes it the most charming ride for the whole family. There is no height requirement. Anybody can fly. Because of its lack of popularity, there is usually little to no line. The cons? It's Dumbo. It's Magic Carpets of Aladdin. It's not unique. For most grown-ups, there is no real thrill here. Because most of what is available in Disney World's Animal Kingdom is worth seeing, some consider it a waste of time that may rob precious minutes from the schedule. So what do you think of this list? Was your favorite Animal Kingdom ride on this worst list, or did you feel like your fellow viewers pretty much nailed it? Head over to AllEars.net and leave your reviews for everything Disney parks related, hotels, restaurants, rides, and more. And you have the power to change this list right now by leaving your own review. And who knows, your opinion may be included in a future episode. If you like this video, please go ahead and click on that thumbs up. Be sure to stay tuned to AllEars TV and AllEars.net for more Disney news. Follow us on Instagram at AllEars.net. New to the channel? Check out our other AllEars videos right here, and please subscribe to AllEars.net. Clang the little notification bell so you immediately get notified when we post a new video. This is Chris for AllEars TV. See you next time.